Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Brendan again. Quick things out of the way. I'm traveling right now in Irvine, California. I'm in my hotel room. I'm filming from the webcam in my laptop. I'm wearing these headphones because the internal mic on this laptop is 10 times worse than what you're hearing right now, even though what you're hearing right now sounds completely awful. So, on to the main point of this video. What I want to talk about today is maybe starting a new series called Everybody Want to Be a Bodybuilder. And you guys should probably know what that's from. That's from the man, the myth, the legend, Big Ronnie Coleman, who's actually been in a couple of videos these days with Big J, Mark Lobliner, POG, been doing this training thing. But that's really a quote that really kind of hits home for me because, number one, it's funny as shit. Everybody want to be a bodybuilder, but ain't nobody want to lift this heavy ass weight. Yeah, buddy. But I think it'd be a cool idea for a series because there's a lot of people out there who want to be a bodybuilder. They want to achieve certain things in terms of being in the weight room, lifting, whether it be strength, size, whatever. So I thought this could be a great series because we could talk about some mistakes that people see. And I've done some mistake videos in the past. They always seem to go over really well. So here's hoping that this one does too. So the first thing I want to talk about is the basics. And the reason I want to do this is oftentimes when I put up videos, people ask me things like, why aren't you doing more exercises for traps? Or shouldn't you be adding in more things for rear delts or for abs or biceps? But a lot of questions in regards to isolation movements. And what I want to focus on for this first video is compound movements. And in order to get my point across, what I'd like to do is give you guys an analogy. And I find that this really helps for common understanding, so I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down when I tell you this. And what I want to talk about analogy-wise is let's take, for example, someone who is very artistic. And I got to make sure I enunciate on that because with this microphone, you might think I said autistic, but no, I said artistic, A-R-T, art. So someone who can draw or sculpt or whatever. Now, if you're like me and you don't really have a lot of these drawing skills, try to remember last time you drew something like a person. You probably just stuck to the face. Maybe you started with the eyes, maybe you started with the nose, the mouth, something very specific and very small when it comes in terms to total overall picture. Now, on the flip side, if you've ever seen anybody draw something who's a good artist, and if you haven't seen that, there's plenty of examples on YouTube. Everyone has all these speed art things, so it's not a big waste of time. No one starts with the small details. What they start with is the big overall picture, usually a big overall shape. It probably actually starts in blocks, and they start dissecting those blocks up and then start giving it some roundness and really start to fine tune what they're working with. And that's really what I want to get my point across here in terms of bodybuilding, that you have to have a general shape first before you really delve into fixing the minor things. And that's where compound movements come into play. So as we know, compound movements, or at least I hope you know if you're watching this and you've been watching me for any length of time, compound movements involve several muscle groups together, hence the term compound. Whereas isolation movements only really isolate one specific muscle group. So for this, it's the same thing with the artist here. What we want to do first is establish a good basic shape, get that in check first, and then once we have that, we can go in and fine tune everything else. The problem is in bodybuilding, if you're serious about it, one of the big things with bodybuilding is symmetry, or having things be equal, well, and balanced. The problem is if you're looking at isolation movements, usually that will lead you to not be overly balanced. Have you ever seen these guys with these big, huge arms or big, huge chests and then itty bitty bitty legs? Hopefully, you guys don't consider that to be me. You're going to hear in the comments, oh, well, that's you, you idiot. But what I'm saying here is you want to make sure you have that general shape first. That's why, in addition to many other benefits, a program like Starting Strength is great, or Strong Lifts is great, because what does it do? It focuses on the main compound movements, helps you establish that base going forward, and then you can start to delve into more things, rather than, again, starting off with a typical bodybuilding split. So again, what I want you to take away from this video, if you haven't already, is focus on the compound movements. Establish that general shape you're going for, and then once that's there, if you want to go in and fine-tune some stuff here and there, that's completely fine, and that's the route you should go. So hopefully that makes sense. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and as always,